While the 2025 edition of the Paris Air Show didn't live up to what many had maybe initially anticipated, certainly driven by the absence of Boeing, it didn't stop emerging plane maker COMAC from discussing the prospects of their own commercial airplane division. For the plane maker, one of the most significant focuses, at least what has attracted my attention, is that of the C939. This is a new high-capacity aircraft that is intended to compete with the 777X. This endeavour is part of a broader effort to scale up the capacity of jets that COMAC are producing. The C929, which would slot into the 250 to 320 seat market, is what serves as a fundamental building block to enable the development of the C939. Initial speculation surrounding the birth of a C939 emerged at the midway point actually of the 2010s, when COMAC began exploring ways to evolve its wide-body offering. By 2024, progress was formally acknowledged, with reputable reporting coming from the South China Morning Post indicating that COMAC was finally making genuine progress in the launch of this endeavour. And now, at the most recent 2025 edition of the Paris Air Show, the plane maker confirmed that while there is no exact time frame that can be made available for the launch, it is forthcoming and work is well underway in making this a reality. However, despite COMAC's attempts to launch a competitor to the 777X, the launch of fundamentally the smaller C929 would need to occur prior. This is expected to come in 2035 at the earliest, and that means only a prospective higher capacity jet would follow after, and at that point, we'd be more than 20 years since the 777X was first announced, and if you're asking the American plane maker and its key customers, they would hope at that point you're also closing in on a decade since the long-haul type entered formal service. As a result, for this prospective C939 I'm talking about today, well, genuine upgrades would be necessary, especially since it's entering the industry at a time when there would be a lot more focus than currently on new gen technology to make flying more sustainable. You can't, if you're COMAC, release an alternative to the 777X with what is considered at that point to be dated technology. Despite new intentions surrounding the development of a plane to rival the 777X, and I'm even going to extend that further to fending off competition from the A350-1000, skepticism is something that continues to remain. See, the lack of certification remains one of the biggest hurdles to the broader adoption of existing commercial airplanes produced by this company. While COMAC does see its planes flying across China, the countries outside of this market that have approved existing aircraft types from COMAC remain very few. Therefore, the scope for the adoption is minor, and airlines would simply rather stick to a product that they're familiar with and have likely had decades of communication with that sole manufacturer. Yes, I'm looking at Airbus and Boeing, and could even include Embraer into that. Additionally, concerns remain over things such as the spare part market, the ability to maintain an active fleet, and for some countries, the nature of security and the quality of construction. Airbus has expressed its belief that COMAC should be still viewed as a threat, despite global airlines rejecting the plane maker's advances over recent times for some of the reasons I mentioned a little bit earlier, and others too. Ultimately, while COMAC innovates and has a lesser backlog, meaning a more favourable delivery timeframe, the product it is offering does not at this stage come with the game-changing upgrades that have as of yet led more of your airlines in Western countries to move away from Airbus and Boeing and head towards COMAC. Who knows, that may change in the next 5 to 10 years. As Airbus has stated time and time again, and they're not entirely wrong on this front, every company has to start somewhere, and typically every company is going to have its doubters at the beginning. It's how it moves past that and solidifies itself to have a prominent place in our industry, and that's something we're going to have to only see unfold over the next decade and a bit. Keen to hear your take though. Does the C939 to you have any real legs in competing with the 777X? Let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for your latest industry recap.